Alright, so we are back for another review, guys, and for today we're going to be checking out another Tinaudio. This is the Tinaudio T2, and I believe this is the DLC version, so updated here with the Tinaudio T2. And of course, the Tinaudio T2 is one of the most popular in the community, so it has been a long-standing, maybe OG favorites in the community. So really interested to check out how they updated this. Is there a new tuning here? And of course, with that new drivers, what will be the sound quality that we are getting? And of course, here in this channel, yes, I have reviewed several maybe iterations of the Tinaudios already. So very interesting to see their growth as a company. However, recently I have not seen that much maybe movement from Tinaudio. Would love to see their new direction with the Tinaudio T2 TLC, and this is what's inside. Still, this is a nicely packaged kit, guys. Opening this up, and this is gonna be your Tinaudio T2. Has some similarities actually before, but you have maybe different colored tips now compared to the blue ones that we had before. But still, this is kind of a classy, maybe packaging here overall. That's still very nice for me. But yeah, this is not compared to before that you have a big boss for Tinaudio. Well, that's a 2016, 2017 kind of thing. You know, the newer ones comes in smaller boxes nowadays, especially for the budget range. And of course, inside you are getting your cables, maybe similar cables to the Tinaudio before, so you know, nothing to write home about there. But still, you're getting your blue iconic memory foam tips here. Definitely nice on that. So this is what I was expecting the Tinaudio to come with initially. And of course, you're getting additional sets of tips as well. Everything is branded to have maybe Tinaudio branding there, but yeah, the Tinaudios before has more tips that's included, a bigger box, and with the case as well before. So actually interested in the design of the lobes here, very similar compared to before. So you're still getting that blocky design here. So actually for some people, they find it not comfortable to wear. That's one of the bigger issues with the Tinaudio T2s. So you're still getting it here. It's an iconic design for sure at the side. You're actually getting that Tinaudio logos. Before, you're not getting this. So it's a very minimalist design before. Now you're getting the Tinaudio logo. For me personally, I don't find this comfortable to wear. I still do prefer the more contoured look, but I still do admire that they're still sticking with this because this is an iconic design in the community. So yeah, you know, IEMs nowadays are getting closer and closer in terms of the look. So it will be nice if you have you know, maybe a big collection to have differences in the look there. So yeah, pros and cons there. For collectors, I do think they will still like the OG look. But maybe for some newer people who's coming in the hobby, they might prefer, there's a lot of options now, they might prefer maybe the more maybe contoured look of the newer IEMs nowadays. Wearing this on the ear, very similar to the previous Tinaudios. So still a blocky design. It bumps to the sides of your ear, so definitely not the most comfortable here. But yeah, I have worn this already for longer listening sessions. It's not that bad, but yeah, it's not the best for sure. It's definitely listenable, but as you guys can see, it takes a while to get a good fit here, and the look on the ear, not the best. So yeah, in terms of the comfort, not that good. Still, this is still a very Tinaudio T2 design. And in terms of the stability, actually this is quite stable because it does go inside your ear. You know, it's not that big of an IEM, so it's easy to put it inside the ear and make it deeper in the insertion. So stability is quite good. Isolation is quite good as well. So very similar to the previous maybe Tinaudio T2s that we had. So isolation is quite good. And yeah, one advantage of this look though is you can get maybe a straight plug, straight cable, and you can wear this, you know, just dangling like that. So that's something that I have shown in the channel. So that's one advantage of this look. So if you do this with the contoured looks like this, the blonde Z300s, so you cannot do it with this because it looks really funky. You know, this contour designs that BB Custom IM look. Having the ear hooks is kind of like a must in the look and the aesthetics. But this because it's kind of like earphone design. You have that versatility, and also the Blonde 03s as well. You can also do that. But here, compared to the Blonde 03s, this is a bit better or easier to wear up to the ear, because it does go inside the ear more. Compared to the Blonde 03s, some people, they don't find good fit. So yeah, one advantage of the design, but still, I always wear it with the ear hooks on. So I do prefer it if it's maybe a bit more comfortable. But yeah, let's try to measure this up. But before measuring, I would like to have an initial impressions in this. I usually want to do this before measuring, because just to not cloud my judgment on this. I would love to record my unadulterated initial impressions without the signature. This is something that I will add to the channel, having that initial impressions. But let's try some Let's Groove by Earth, Wind and Fire. First impressions, very thin audio sound. You're still getting a touch of boom in the bass, touch of warmth in the bass, but you're still getting that treble, the top end. But here, I do think this has, since it's DLC drivers, there's more micro detail here compared to some other thin audios that we have seen before. Very thin audio sound here. So actually, first impressions for me, this sounds like a Moondrop with more treble, with more top end. So if you have listened to some Moondrops with DLCs, so definitely, yeah, the definite upgrade for me here is the driver update. And yeah, for me personally as well, this is maybe a bit more revealing to listen to. Maybe because of that driver update. So really cool here. This is a very enjoyable sound. Maybe it reminds me of the Tinaudio T4 in a way. Something like that. The Tinaudio T4, because it's also a dynamic driver. Reminds me of something like that in the presentation. But let's measure this up. So we now did some measurements in the Tinaudio T2 DLC. And yeah, my hunch is a little bit correct. This has some similarities to the Tinaudio T4. In the graph, but compared to the T4, this has a bit more maybe mid-bass, a bit more bass and mix. So this is maybe a bit closer to a Moondrop sound in a way. So actually the signature now when I'm looking at it, it reminds me of the Moondrop Aria in a way. But yeah, not 100%, not 100% there. So yeah, you're still getting that maybe 12K of a Tinaudio. You're still getting that maybe 6K elevation. But actually here, compared to the Tinaudio T4s, the 6K elevation is a bit more maybe toned down. You're still getting that 1.5K hump here, but again, the mid hump is a bit more toned down. And if you see the bass region, you're getting a bit more elevation there. So it's a bit different compared to the Tinaudio T4, but it's still a very thin audio maybe trend in the graph here. So from the bass region, you're getting that recession to around 1K. So you're getting that hump in the bass to maybe mid-bass region here. So actually, before going to the signature, let's try the Tinaudio T3 Plus, because this also might be, this might have some similarities with the T3 Plus here. All right, so going to the T3 Plus, so yeah, might be closer to a T3 Plus actually. So I'm looking at the bass region. You're getting very, very similar results. You're getting a 3K hump as well, and you're getting the 12K. So might be closer to a Tinaudio T3 Plus in this regard. So not quite the Tinaudio T4. The Tinaudio T4 is gonna be maybe more brighter in the signature, more clarity focused here. But very interesting here because the T3 Plus before is around $80, but here it's a bit cheaper, the T2 DLC. So this is just around maybe $60 here, so $20 cheaper compared to the T3 Plus. So yeah, the launch price you're getting similarities to the T3 Plus, but a bit maybe cheaper in the overall maybe price range here. So that might be a unique selling point for some. But yeah, we're gonna listen to this and maybe compare it to the Moondrop Aria as well, because in the tuning, this is the closest to the Moondrop Aria for me, even closer compared to some maybe Tinaudios that we have seen before. So very surprised in that the comparison. So first, it's kind of like a warm neutral sound here with the Tinaudio T2 DLC. Dynamic driver presentation, so it has that smoothness, but in dynamic drivers, this is not the smoothest maybe dynamic driver presentation. So this has that cleanliness of maybe a Tinaudio that you're looking for. So maybe closer to a T3 Plus in a way. So in the Tinaudio world, this might be closest to a T3 Plus, but this is more of a Moondrop sound for me here, kind of like a Moondrop Aria type of sound. And if you see from the graph as well, the 3K is a bit more elevated for me in the mix. So this has a bit more brightness for me on top, has a bit more treble compared to the Moontrap Arias. And in the presentation as well, this is a bit more lively in the presentation compared to the Moontrap Arias as well. It's a bit more engaging in the presentation. So the tuning is very relevant for 2023 in this regard. So going to the bass region, so it has that boom that you're looking for. So this is not the tightest bass that you're looking for. So has some similarities to the T3 Plus in a way. It goes really deep in the presentation. The sub bass is definitely there, but this is not the fastest bass. This has some boom, so maybe right in the middle in the presentation. It's definitely not lacking at all in that regard. Has ample bass for me. So comparing this to the SimGot EA500s, the EA500s is more tight in the presentation. This a bit bigger in the presentation for me. So a very thin audio bass presentation here overall. Has a touch of mid bass bleed there, but not that much. But yeah, definitely that bass elevation at the bottom gives this a bit more oomph in the bass. This is not quite a bass sets IEM. So the bass here is maybe more mellow compared to your Blonde 03s, your Blondes in general, or TFZs. This is gonna be more mellow of a bass. Gonna be more relaxed in the presentation. So this is not your thumping, rumbling type of bass. This is a bit more mellow in that regard. Going to the mids, the positioning is really good here for the female vocals and male vocals as well. Very similar to a Moontrap presentation of the vocals here. And compared to the Moontraps, the vocals here is a bit more revealing for me in the presentation. So actually it's that revealing that this has a touch of shoutiness over the Moontrap Arias. And in the dynamic driver world, this is in the cleaner side of things as well. So again, not the smoothest presentation of the vocals. So maybe the vocal presentation here, the thickness reminds me of the T3 Plus, the two driver system. It reminds me of that presentation because it has that cleanliness. It's not big vocal in the mix for me. That's that maybe clean presentation, clear presentation as well, and with a touch of shout. Let's go to some female vocals, Into You by Ariana Grande. And female vocals as well, nicely presented for me in the mix. The positioning is really nice, and a really revealing vocal presentation as well, bright vocal presentation, not veiled to listen to. Very Moontrap-ish, but a bit brighter than Moontrap presentations. And yeah, definitely there's also a bit of shout here for me in the female vocals. So definitely that's one downside. Let's go to some top end. Let's go to some Joe Satriani jumping in. Going to some Joe Satriani jumping in. So I do think for the cymbals, this is thinner in the presentation compared to the Moontrap Arias. And that can be one maybe downside in this. So not the thickest maybe cymbal presentation, maybe because of that really prominent 12K for me in the mix. And yeah, for the top end as well, really extended there, so lots of treble on tap here. So guitars really shines for me in the mix. So you're getting that maybe shimmer on top here for me. But there's a bit of shout here as well on top. So the guitars has a bit of maybe hotness for me inside. So not the most tame top end here. So again, Tinaudio, the clarity is always there, so you're getting it here. But yeah, this introduces a bit of hotness for me. So actually the presentation has that maybe monitor qualities to the sound here. So definitely your Moontraps will be more tame in the presentation. This will be a bit more revealing for me in the presentation. Let's go to some I Shot the Sheriff by Eric Clapton. Yeah, definitely here in I Shot the Sheriff, first impressions, there's more hotness for me inside. So the treble is a bit harsh for me, especially the vocals as well. For Eric Clapton's vocals has a bit of hotness for me. So yeah, definitely that's one downside for me with the T2 TLC. Going to soundstage, above average here, quite big in the stage. Separation is quite good for dynamic driver. And in terms of the micro detail, definitely better compared to some other Tinaudios that we have seen before. So the DLC driver is definitely helping out in the resolution part. So yeah, for the T2 DLC, what are my thoughts in this? So this is the most maybe Moontrap Tinaudio that I have listened to yet, but still has that Tinaudio qualities. So this is like maybe the T3 Plus and the Moontrap Aria. You marry them together, you're getting this IEM. So first, you're getting that ample bass at the bottom, big bass in the mix, but not overly ton. So definitely less compared to the TFZs, the Blondes of the world. But you're still getting a bit of boom here, not the most maybe rumbling bass, not the most forward bass for me in the mix, but still quite big bass at the bottom. The vocals has the clarity that you're looking for, has that maybe bright vocal presentation, quite clear in the presentation. So for both male and female vocals, nicely positioned for me in the mix. So actually for a Tinaudio, maybe one of the better positionings for a Tinaudio that we have seen yet, and that's definitely an advantage. And looking at that treble as well, so you're getting still that Tinaudio-esque treble, nicely extended for me on top. Lots of treble on tap here. And then with that DLC driver, you're getting a bit more liveliness in the presentation, more maybe a front presentation here. So there's definitely an advantage here with the update with a T2 on TLC. Of course, some cons here, the harshness. Actually, for me, it's a bit too much in that regard. So I do find that Aria is to be a bit more tame than what I'd like. So yeah, for people who are sensitive to fatigue, for hotness, this might not be your pick. And of course, that design, it's a love and hate thing. So some people like a more iconic design because this is the OG design here. But on the other side of the coin, it's not the most comfortable designs. It will be up to you on that. But yeah, for me personally, this is not a top 5 contender. I do think that maybe harshness is a bit too much for my liking, and you can tip change, and that will be up to you. You can still buy this and tip change, and that might maybe lessen the harshness of this, but it will be up to you there. So that's my take with a T2 on TLC. Of course, if you learned something, leave a like and subscribe for content like this in the future. Of course, big thanks to Linsol Audio for sending this over. Links down below for their shop. Of course, plug, in June 5, I will have an album launch or single launch. Panaginip, we're gonna launch it. This is an IEM launch. That's my music project. So if you're in the area, check it out. I'm gonna sing, and we're gonna play with the band. Just have some fun. So anybody can go there, and hopefully I can see you guys there. Yeah, if you have any questions in a T2 DLC, of course, let me know down in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next zpolt video. Bye bye.